Yes, welcome back to another edition of Breaking the Chains. I am at Sarakunda, just at the Brikama garage, sitting with another young person who is a youth parliamentarian, a Pan-African, and actively participating in decolonizing the minds of young people and the generations to come. Mr. Bah, welcome to Breaking the Chains.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sif. I really appreciate it. And I am glad that I'm here with you at the breaking of the chains and to discuss the future of the country and the future of the continent.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Mr. Bah, if you were to tell us where you raised, your history, your schooling, how will you define that?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sif, once again. As you alluded, my name is Abdou Bah. I was born in Banjul, Independence Drive,
Okay.
and I was brought up in Serakunda, Churchillstown, and later I had the chance again when my mom traveled to return back to Banjul to stay with my grandfather. And that's where I was as a young person with my grandfather. And I was going to Albion school.
Albion, okay.
Yeah.
Banjul, right?
Banjul, yeah, in Banjul there. So I was living with my grandfather and my uncle. I called him my brother, sort of, because I was older than him. So we were there, Hop Street, number 8 Hop Street. That's where we were. So yeah, I went to Albion. I was there from grade 1 to grade 4, 5, and there I was able to return back. But it was my dad that brought me up. I called him my dad. It's my grandfather that brought me up, and he was an Hausa. He's now late. He passed away this year.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's an Hausa. Hausas, the way that
Aku,
yeah. As a young person, as a child, I was pet by my mom. I was a pet child. Wherever my mom was going, I was the tail. Going with her everywhere. So, yeah, when I was taken to my dad, that thing changed because my dad, that's my grandfather, I'm referring to. He was a strict individual. Like, he had timetable for everything. And I normally exaggerate that he even have timetable for us to go to the restroom. You understand? That's how disciplined, and organized my grandfather was, towards us. So he brought us well. We do not go out to play, without him telling us that we have to go out to play.
Okay.
You understand? So from school, we come back home, study our books, up to around 5 o'clock. So around 5, me and my uncle, who I was older than, would be praying to God for our grandfather to just call us and say, Abdou Ali, Dublin Foyeji. You understand? So that we can go out and play. So yeah, so that's how we were. And immediately before Timis, before Maghrib, we will run back because Maghrib should not, meet us outside there. So we run back and come back to the house, and hold our books again and study. So I had a very organized, life upbringing as a child. I was put in the footings of, being disciplined enough and understanding yourself, and I would love to share this. My grandfather was a man that even if a visitor entered the house, after the visitor leave, he will call you and ask, "Ban bubala salon?" The moment you say the color of the visitor's clothes, you are dead. Yeah. He will kill you. You understand? And that, as a child, we thought he was very, very strict. You understand? Putting us towards those kind of, treatment. We thought he was very strict. He didn't like us. I personally, as a child, I thought he didn't like me. You understand? Until the time that I left there, I came back to Combo and I saw around me my mates, the way that, that they live and the mentality. I knew I was lucky that my grandfather really brought me well and he meant well for me. You understand? And that's why wherever I go, I'm able to be there. You understand? So yeah, that's how I was brought up in Banjul. and from there I went to Gambia Senior Secondary School. You know, I failed my grade 9 though. When I came back, when I came back in Combo here,
You feel?
yeah, when I came back in Combo, you know, from my dad, I came back to my mom again because my mom later returned back to the Gambia. You understand? And when she came back, I returned back to her. So when I returned back to her, you
You had
know,
that freedom.
I had that. Thank you. I had that freedom. You know, I was doing whatever I wanted, following my friends here in Serakunda. You know,
There was
gambling.
no time schedule for you.
No time schedule. You know, I was a free bat. You know, I was gambling. We used to have a PlayStation outside here, just at the gate
Just
there.
the gate, okay.
You understand? It was owned by one Nigerian, so Chris. So we normally spend the entire day gambling PlayStation. You understand? So you know, we were doing those things as a young person, you know, stealing $5, you know, stealing chickens, you know, and ganari and saja ni them jago serakunda, you know, poromi ni wenyi. You know, so we were doing those things in Serakunda. That's normal in Serakunda as a young person. If you don't do those kind of things, then you have not done anything in the Serakunda. So gambling and all that stuff. So, you know, my entire upper base school, I didn't study. You know, I later failed. So when I failed, I came with my result to my mom, and my mom saw my result and started crying. You understand? And that was the day that changed my life. That made me the person that I am today.
That is the day your mom cried. for your
Yeah,
fail.
yeah. So I realized I really did not.
So if you were to compare it, let's say when you were in Banjul with that discipline and that schedules, your performance was far better.
Next level. I'm always around the top 3, top 5.
Okay.
You understand?
But when
So
you came to Serakunda and then without that discipline, measures,
you know, my mom is my friend. Like my mom allows me to do anything and all those stuff. So I would I was in LK. You understand that I was in LK. So when I come back to from school, when I come back home, you know, I'll just throw my bag there in the room, you know, throw my bag and just go and play. Go outside Serakunda school, go to the gamble, do all those things. So yeah. So when my mom cried when I took my result, and that thing hit hard, you understand? And I said to myself, I'm not gonna allow that. My mom sacrificed a lot. You know, she was in Europe, she has to leave there to come back, you know, and take care of us. You understand? So I said I have to be better. You understand? And I promised myself from that day on, you know, failure will never see my face. You understand? So that's how I was able to be a transformed individual.
Okay.
You know, went to high school in Gambia High. The moment I entered the gate, I said, force, never. I will not leave that first position, you know. And from Gambia High, from 10 to 12, just first position. You understand, you know. And I became the head boy in Gambia High, you know. I was studying very hard. I was studying like from morning to the next morning. There was a time that I studied from morning to the next morning. When I tell people I studied 24 hours, they didn't believe it. You understand? Like I was a bookaholic. You understand? Researching, reading, you know, being a better individual. So research was a key part of me, and reading too as well. You know, and asking questions. You know, having the conversation, debating, you know, sitting with elders that know. I love knowledge. That if I see someone, a mate or someone, an elderly person that has the knowledge, I follow the person. You understand? Just to get that particular knowledge to be a better individual.
so you were an art student? Science?
I was an art student. I was an art student. I fell in love with literature at a very early age, and I believe that you know, falling in love with literature made me a better person. You understand? Made me to understand the perspective of human beings, the way that they think, the way they perceive things. You understand? Their environment, you understand? Their state of mind. It really helped, and government, and reading history too as well in a different lens. You know, so I didn't read history just to go and pass examination. I read history to understand the world and to understand Africa, you know, herself, and that really would make me the person that I would become today. You know, to in the national level, to take ownership of my country and the like. So really, those things really changed me, and yeah, I made it in high school. Compared to upper basic school, I got a grade 43. I failed woefully in upper basic school. So when I went to Gambia High, I got 8 credit in high school. From there, I went to college. I met a group of young people too as well there in Gambia College that really loved.
Including maths?
No, maths. Maths was not a friend. I really sacrificed maths for literature.
Okay.
Yeah, literature had a lot of books to read.
Yeah.
You understand? So yeah, I was good in maths. You understand? It's just that I was not paying that much attention to sacrifice to able to get it. But I didn't believe that it was a difficult subject. I made the decision at that period of time in high school. I said I was not going to spend that much time in maths as in literature and all the stuff, to make it. So yeah, I did, got my credit without maths. You understand? I went to college and I met a group of other young individuals there that love literature. As I told you, I love literature. I believe that literature was and is the solution of the world. You understand? You need to understand human being, and literature was the study of life as I defined. You understand? So when I went there, we started to form organizations, and that's what brought the Prolific Writers Organization. We were going for nationwide tour. You understand? Teaching young people poetry, drama, public speaking, because we didn't have the chance when we were in high school. Because I personally was a student in literature, but I never knew that as young people we can write poetry. Till one day when we were studying in Gambia High to prepare for our WAS examination, a friend of mine, Lamin, wrote a poem at the blackboard. And when I came into the class for study, I saw the poem and I asked who wrote the poem. He said, I am the one that wrote the poem. You understand? And I was like, hey, so like, Gambian could write a poem. I was reading Land Repeaters and the likes, but my mentality was not, did not click that. You understand? Halatul lo no in the Gambian munabida. Understand? So there, I was really motivated. He was my inspiration. So there, I started to say we are going to do this after high school. You understand? And after high school, we started to meet, in homes. You understand? Mine and his and my brother Justice writing poetry. So that thing took us to college, and from college we had our Prolific Writers Organization at national level. You understand? And we were able to move it to the next level. To now what formed the Arts Academy. You understand? And it is through those researches too as well that we were able to understand the country, what it needs and what it has and what it does not have. You understand? And how well do we fill the gap as young people to make sure that we are able to build a better country. Because at that period of time we knew the art has a potential, but there was no art school in the country. You understand? And we knew we had a gap there. You understand? And we were able to take the Prolific Writers to the Arts Academy, the first art school in the Gambia. We built it. You understand? So these are things that we were also looking at. You understand? When you looked at the perspective of young people in politics and the likes, we were reading the knowledge that we got from government and the history that we were reading the likes of Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah. You understand? Their perspective, the Pan-African Revolution. You understand? So we saw all those things, and we were able to contribute to what we are doing today.
Before going to your next level from your education, I'm particularly interested in these two sides of your story. One part of your grandma.
My grandfather.
Your grandfather. One part your mother.
Yeah.
And then you looking at the situation we are in. The discipline part of the young people is almost getting to zero, we are saying, because people are just left to do whatever they want to do without strict guide to. Because discipline is the paramount in whatever somebody does, particularly the young generation. As they go to school, you find people not performing very well, simply not because they are not intelligent, simply because they have not been given the focus or the discipline needed for their learning to prosper or to excel.
Yeah.
But looking at those two sides of you, one can tell that the educational settings, discipline is not really key. It's not really focused on. It's more of grade system. If you have the best grade, no matter who you are the best, regardless. So if the person could be very poor Okay, and also attitudinal wise, is school. Probably you have so many environmental constraints around the individual. Probably he loves to learn. He want to be educated. But the background from which he is from is allowing him or her to focus and do what is expected. And usually those kind of people, when the results not comes, they don't do better.
Yeah.
And society judge people based on the grades you have produced.
Of course, of course.
And usually when the yardstick is taken, a lot of potentials are dumped.
Yeah.
And you only have few that will be now be the center of focus.
Yeah.
Judging intelligence on the grade system.
And this grade system, I believe that's where we found ourselves, especially as a continent. We get to have intelligent leaders, but not disciplined leaders. You understand? And discipline is important. Discipline teaches you honesty. You understand? Discipline makes you to get out of corruption. You understand that? Because all these are elements that discipline gives you. Honesty, you understand, a corrupt-free mindset, and a corrupt-free hand, I can even say. You understand? Someone that is able to deliver, an action-oriented individual. Discipline gives you these elements. And when you looked at it, that is the society that we have. The society rates individual based on A's that you produce. You understand, and that you would see at home. The discipline is not, prioritized most of the time. You understand? It's not there, and even in school most of the time too as well. It's not there. The moment you are intelligent, he's intelligent, but you have an attitude. That is not that good, and that will take you to Martin Luther King. You understand? Martin Luther King normally talks about the discipline aspect. You understand? He's talking about an intelligent individual, an educated individual that is not disciplined is a threat to a society. You understand? So if you are educated, you must be disciplined. You understand? So these are things that we believe, are fundamental, and that the Gambia has inadequate of. I will not say lack, but has inadequate of, and we have to make sure that we are able to, the culture was here, but we need to make sure that we are able to reintegrate this properly. You understand that, and sustain it and preserve it and leave it where it was and make it better, because we need discipline in our young people. You understand, and our children. You understand, and the parents too as well need to be very conscious about this, especially our generation. Need to be very conscious about this, because education is not just the A's. You understand? You would know. And those that have A's, and do not have discipline end up minding positions without delivering for the people. You understand? So that is it, because at the end of the day, these are individuals that just focus on their pockets. You understand, but not the people. The moment so amee discipline la da ngay ragal yàlla, discipline si ragal yàlla la bokk. So, and for me, I thank God that my grandfather was able to make us realize this. Ma ne daf laan jël dalasi mu teg ko si ko boppi lalam bi, understand nga, bàyyi fa dalasi bi nii, man maa daan nekk di fompa néeg bi ak yu demee noonu. So su ma ñëwoon foofu noonu may fompa foog ma laal dalasi bi pour fompa. Léegi moom su ñëwee dafaa dugaat si biir néeg bi mu oono Abdou Ali ñu ñëw, kan moo laal dalasi bi dalasi bi mu bare mu ne kan moo ko laal, comme ku ko laal nii mu puusu. yaa ma ne sax ma ne ko man maa doon fompa de, dalasi bu ma ko teg bu ko kenn laalaat. So ñun du naa understand loolu as xale. Ma demee ba mag laa understand lu mu la wax moo nekk loo moomut bàyyi ko fu mu nekk. You understand, bul laal alal jaamur alal mbooloo la bu ko laal. You understand nga, waaye da ngaa gis ne tey we live in that particular country. We live in that particular continent. You understand that? And that's why they
are taking something that doesn't belong to you. It's a norm. Like
they say it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
Let's be honest. Just look at our country. Look at our continent.
Yeah, it's normal.
You understand that? You get to political office. You understand? You be a councillor, or you are a mayor, or you are a parliamentarian, or you are a minister, or you are a president. You understand? Within 3 years, 4 years, you have started building homes. You understand that you are having millions. No president, and you are receiving 500,000.